So basically this is our group members that consists of 6 people including me, and so let's interview the first person.
Hi, my name is Abirafi, and this documentary is kind of interesting. It's kind of fun because already having fun recording. I think it's interesting to have fun. I hope you guys enjoy.
Hi, I'm Galvina. A very good beneficial project by given by Mr. Farid. Thank you, Mr. Farid. Enjoy that. I really enjoy this documentary as it encourages us to interact with other people and get more experiences. And the most important thing is I love Mr. Farid. That's why I do this documentary. Bye. Hi, my name is Farid Bin Abdul Latiff. I really enjoy documentary because yeah, it's quite fun, really fun. And okay, bye. Hope you enjoy our documentary. Bye.
Hello mate, how are you? I'm Amirul and I'm from TESL Foundation. So, how are you feeling?
Okay.
So yeah, right. So basically, our purpose is to conduct a research about why English is matters in Malaysia. So, I would like to know where you're from.
Actually, my name first of all, my
Yeah,
name is
yeah.
Mohammed Musa. I am Sudanese originally. I have born and raised in Saudi Arabia. So I came from Saudi Arabia. All my family was there. So we speak in actually different language from here. Like we speak in Arabic language. So far when I came here to this country, Malaysia, we shift to the second language that we have to speak, which is English.
English, right?
English language.
So, shall we go to the first question? I would like to ask you the first question. Okay, why do you think is it necessary to master English language in Malaysia? I mean, you are foreign, right?
Yes.
Right? So, why do you think it is necessary for you to master English language in Malaysia? Can I know your opinion or your views about that?
Actually, for me, I was born in this country, like as a student now. I think it's like mastering English language is not matter. You have to speak like 70 to 80% of the language, like which is English.
Okay. So basically, English language is widely spoken language in all parts of the world, and in Malaysia, it is very rare to see people speak English.
Yes.
Right. So, do you think English language is important for the development of human capital in Malaysia?
Yes, really, I think so. It's very important because like the capital in every country is like have a lot of foreign people, have a lot of people from outside overseas. So the only language maybe you can imagine that you communicate with the people over there is the English language. So we have to, I mean, the people in here have to develop themselves to learn English more better to communicate with the people from overseas.
So, I would like to ask you the question that is really cheesy and it's really kind of something that people really want to ask you.
Okay.
So are people considered less intelligent than their counterparts if they don't speak English fluently? What do you think about that?
I think it's not necessary to be, very advanced in the language to be this. First of all, you have to know something. If you're still learning, if you're still like searching about something, you didn't get it like fully. You're not being like less intelligent or no. That means you're trying to help yourself, even though you're
Try to
trying
improve yourself,
Yes,
right.
improve yourself exactly. So don't think it's like that saying is like if you don't learn English very well or whatever, you in language very well, that means you're less intelligent or actually it's not about only language, anything in this like education life and learning. Yeah.
Do you think speaking English heightens someone's social status? Do you think that people will look at you very high, very respect because you speak English? Do you think that it's really proper things that they have to do?
Like you said before, this question like practice make perfect. Exactly, come to these questions like yes, if you was practicing, if you was developing yourself, you're gonna like prove yourself like in the society. People are gonna see you like in high position, like knowledge.
Knowledgeable.
And yeah, exactly.
I'd like to know your hope and aspirations for our nations to make them learn English every day in their life. Your hope and aspirations for them.
My hope is people don't have to be afraid. People have to try, and they have to learn from the people from overseas. They not have to give up on only the thing that they know. So they have to communicate with the people to know more better and to know more like about the country around. So they can speak like different language. They can learn something from other culture. So it'll be nice for them. So I tell people and recommend them to not give up and learn more from the people outside.
So I think that's all for today. Thank you for giving your cooperation for us.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate that.
They will come.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Have a great day.
So, please introduce yourself. What's your name?
My name is Nur Sabina binti Harizah. I'm from TESL second semester.
Yes, okay. So we are doing a documentary for our topic Foundation in English. So our topic is why is English matters in Malaysia. So I'm going to ask you some questions. Okay, the first question will be why is it necessary to master English language in Malaysia?
Well, English is the language of lingua franca and it is used globally, so it is important for Malaysia.
Okay, well, we'll move on to the second question. Do you think English language is important for the development of human capital in Malaysia?
Yes, because without English, Malaysians will remain static and will not develop into a better country.
Thank you. And we'll move on to the third question. Are people considered less intelligent than their counterparts if they don't speak English fluently? What do you think about that?
English actually make us a bit confident and it makes us look professional. So yes.
We'll move on to the fourth question. And do you think speaking English heightens someone's social status?
Of course.
A reason?
As I mentioned, because most people use globally worldwide they use English. So by accessing into English language, we can understand them and we can share our knowledge with them. So it will increase our social status.
Okay, thank you. Well, now the last question to Hungary. And do you think that we should change our politics of English education in Malaysia?
Absolutely. I'm not saying that we have to neglect our mother tongue, but as I said, but English is actually a language of knowledge. So when you learn English, you had a limitless amount of you can access limitless amount of knowledge, and it will benefit it will benefit you and your country as well. So yes.
So, okay, I want to ask you, what is your hope and aspiration for the Malaysia? Do you think they should learn English?
Yes, I think they should, because learning English is actually very fun, because by learning English you can communicate with others from outside world, and from especially from US and UK, where English is actually their mother tongue. And also my hope is that my hope is Malaysian don't have to be embarrassed to learn in English, because English, even though you make a lot of mistakes, but that doesn't mean that you are wrong. It means that you are still learning. So don't be afraid of making mistakes, because it is actually a long process learning.
That's all?
Years old, and I'm from Pakistan, and I'm currently studying foundation in TESL, and I'm doing my sem 3. This is my final sem.
Okay, so my name is Abdul, and I'm from TESL Foundation, Sem 1. Okay. First of all, our purpose of our documentary is we need to know your opinion and views about why English matters in Malaysia. First question, I would like to ask you, why is it necessary to master English language in Malaysia?
It is important because, once English is considered as the second language, the most important language across the world. So I think that wherever you go, obviously you can't communicate in other countries' mother tongue. But English is something that's very easy. You can just master it in maybe like a few weeks.
I think that English language is important for the development of human capital in Malaysia. Since we have about 35 million people in Malaysia, okay, so do you think that's important for human capital? The English language, yeah, human capital development.
I think I've already emphasized it in the first question. I said that English is very important. It is obvious. So yeah, we need to emphasize it.
Okay, are people considered less intelligent than their counterparts if they don't speak English fluently? What do you think about
That has nothing to do with intelligence. Basically, you see, I came from my root, my tradition is we are Hindus. So basically, my parents, they don't speak to me in Tamil, but I was brought up in an environment where I speak in English. My parents spoke to me in English. So if I were to brought up in an environment where I was taught to speak in Tamil, and if I don't speak English fluently, that has nothing got to do with my intelligence.
So, last question. Are people considered, do you think speaking in English heightens someone's social status?
No.
Why do you think like that?
English is
Because
just...
someone said when you can speak English fluently, you are very well respected.
You see, English is just another language, but we look upon English. We think that English language is a higher. It considered it's a more higher level compared to other languages because it's common. Everyone speaks in English, but that doesn't mean that you speak in English makes you someone more powerful or more like people have to respect you. I don't think so. It's just another language.
For the last question, do you think that we should change our policies of English education in Malaysia? So our education system taught us English from the kindergarten, the secondary, primary, tertiary, universities.
Alright, can I say something honestly?
Yeah.
Alright, you see, when taught in dual languages, especially for the science subject. Certain schools they're teaching Hindi and certain schools they're teaching in English. So I think that instead of changing the policy, why not just make it equal? Everyone learns in English. That doesn't mean that if you learn in English, you're forgetting your mother tongue.
So for the last things, I would like you to say to the camera your hope and your aspiration for all Malaysians, why they should learn English and why English is important for them. Your hope and aspiration to the camera.
I'm not a good English speaker, but I'm trying my best to speak in English. As I said earlier, just because that my parents spoke to me in English, that doesn't make me a good English speaker. And just because you are speaking in English, that doesn't mean that you're forgetting your mother tongue and you're disrespecting your mother tongue. That's a very wrong assumption. That's a very wrong mindset. People, please change your mindset. Just because you're speaking in English, that doesn't make you any higher than other people. It's just another language. The only thing that makes English is different from other languages is that people all around the world that they are using English language. And if you feel that I have said something wrong in delivering my answers to the interviewer, I apologize. But there's one thing that I would like to tell you all is that if you want to improve on your English, don't be shy and please go ahead, learn English. Even I'm trying my best to learn English, try to speak in English fluently. Even sometimes I can't do that, especially with the Malaysian slang, but I'm trying my best. It's not wrong trying to speak in that language. And just because you can't speak in English, that doesn't make you any lower. You have to understand that, and I guess that is all. We just need to change our mindset.
Okay guys, just heard that we have to change our mindset. Okay, so I'd like to say thanks to you because for giving you to with us. Thank you very much for your cooperation. We really appreciate it. Thank you. I'd like to interview you about our topic. Just titled What English Matters in Malaysia.
English matters in Malaysia.
Yeah. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
First of all, thank you for this interview. Second, my name is Farid Abdul, and I'm from Somalia, but I grew up in Egypt, and I'm studying IT, Bachelor of IT first semester.
Okay. We will come out with a few questions and we will ask you, and we hope that you can elaborate that and give your opinion and views.
Sure, no problem.
So shall we go?
Go ahead.
Alright. So first, I would like to know why is it necessary to master English language in Malaysia? Since you are foreign and you are students from outside Malaysia, so why do you think is it necessary for you?
So I think, especially for me as a student, first of all, to master here in Malaysia, because like when I try to communicate, even though I'm not that good in English, so I'm trying to communicate with the Malaysian people, even though they are not that good in English, so like I'm trying to be confident to speak with them in English.
Go to second question. Do you think that English language is important for the development of human capital in Malaysia?
Right. For human capital in Malaysia,
Yeah.
I would say sure, because like for example, human capital is like for if you want businessmen, if they want to go really to be abroad, so like they can like make the name of Malaysia internationally. So they have to speak not English, or multiple languages, right? Multiple languages, but especially English, because English is an international language. So if you don't speak English, this means like your Malaysian is not well known outside the country, outside your own country. It means like your businessmen, they can only speak Malay, so you just stay in one place. Place means like you cannot go outside of Malaysia because you only have one language. But if you have English language, you can go to many countries. You can explore Malaysia to around the world. So like people will come and invest in Malaysia. People will try to work in Malaysia.
Do you think speaking English heightens someone's social status?
Social, you mean like the
You mean like when you speak English, you feel like people will have a full respect of you. Do you think?
I don't think that, because like as the matter, if you're going for a job, it's still based on they looking for the language. They're still looking for the what we call it, the field that you study. For example, you are good in programming, so they will only look on programming, okay? Because you are good in programming, so they will look on that. For example, another one, for football players now, just an example, football players now. If you compare between like Lionel Messi and Cristiano now, Cristiano knows English, but he's still a celebrity, everybody knows him. But Messi doesn't know English, but still people know him. So the point is like, if you are good in something, all right, that company will do anything for you so that they can understand you. It doesn't matter if you speak it language, but it's better for you to speak it, to make it easier for them. But if you are like, no, I don't need English, and I'm good in your field, so the company will think that, okay, this guy, he's intelligent, he can do what we wanted, so it doesn't matter for him to speak English. That's why they will just make another, bring a translator to translate for him. So I don't think English will make that difference between the.
So, do you think that people who talk English, who didn't talk English, consider less intelligent than their counterparts if they don't speak English fluently?
This will bring also back to the previous question, because almost similar, but I don't think it will.
Yeah, sometimes people mock their friends when their friends speak English.
That one will
Just
be
laugh
like,
at them.
that would be, yes, that would be like, for example, if you are in a counterpart, the villages and that stuff like that. If you study outside and you come inside and you're trying to put English in your mother language, people will start mocking you that time, all right? But like if the guy from the village goes to the capital city, then he will face problem, because like maybe in the capital city they're more on English, all right? So like when you want to find a job there also, you have to learn the English.
So I think that's all for our interview. So I would like to thank you for being here with us.
No, I'm thanking you for just like 2 minutes.
Just one more thing I would like to ask you. I would like to know from you your hope and aspiration for all people in Malaysia about why it's important for them to learn English in their life.
Okay. For Malaysians, I think like the most important thing for them is like they have to be confident. I know maybe they are good in speaking, maybe they feel they are good, but they are not confident to show that up. So the most thing you have to do is like don't be scared, don't be shy. Just go there, speak it, and you will probably be confident as much as foreigners and other international students. Thank you for that.
So kind of motivated for all of Malaysia, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, hello.
Hello.
I'm Amirul, and I'm from TESL Foundation. So, what's your name?
My name is Dave Zairu. I'm from TESL also, but I'm the third sem, which is final sem for me. It's my final year.
So basically, our purpose interviewing you today is we would like you to know why English matters in Malaysia. So we will take this chance to ask you a few questions, and we want to know your opinion about why English matters in Malaysia. I would like to ask you, and your opinion, why is it necessary to master English language in Malaysia?
For who?
I mean, for all of Malaysia.
For Malaysia.
Yeah.
First of all, we need to know why we have to master English, right? What is the purpose? What is the goal? So you see, in my opinion, we need to master English. As a Malaysian, I need to master English so that I can expand my knowledge, I can broaden my knowledge.
Isn't that English should make a compulsory subject at all levels of education in Malaysia?
In any level?
In any level, the secondary, the tertiary, the primary.
Yeah. For me, I think that English has to be taught since we are in kindergarten, so that we are used to it.
So basically, we have to make English compulsory for all levels.
Yes.
You agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, I would like to know that all Malaysians seems to have some sense of perception when someone speaks English, they will mock them. You know, right? So, are people considered less intelligent than their counterparts if they don't speak English fluently? What do you think about that?
Oh, I think that this is the general mentality of the Malaysians itself because of our education itself. Because our education, our education does not emphasize English, so it's gonna create such havoc when it comes to people in Malaysia speaking English, because the education they limit some people to not speak English. So when these two people meet, their idea will conflict with each other, which in result in in the outcome it will, like what you said, they will mock each other out.
Splendid. So the last question I would like you to ask you is: do you think speaking in English heightens someone's social status?
Do I think heighten someone's
Social status.
social status? I think yes. Social status.
What makes you feel like this? It heightens someone's social status. I mean, the lower or middle class also can speak English.
Yeah.
Why do people really respect them?
That's a good question. Yes, I do believe that when we speak English, it kind of like heightens our social status. Because when we see Malaysia, only the English speakers in Malaysia, they have this such unique things with them. They have this community which is designed for them to live their own life, which is in English way, in international way. So we don't always find that. I feel like when I speak English, I do feel different about it, but in a good way. It's not like I speak English, I think you're lame. No, it means that I speak English. It means that you should bring your friends and go ahead, join me and everything. Because not
So, thank you for your explanation, and I would like to know your hope and aspiration for our nation to make the English language important. First, your hope and aspiration.
My hope.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope that when I say I hope, I don't just hope. I hope and I will do one day that I can shape the society. I can shape the mind of the Malaysian people. You don't see English in a bad way. See English in a good way.
All right, then. Thank you very much for the explanation, and we really appreciate what you explained to us about English. Thank you, mate.
You're welcome.
Nice day.
Have a nice day.